Welcome back, everyone. Aces NFL show, week 4. What a week 3 it was. Plenty of upsets. I'll tell you what, they're killing us. And it's just always the biggest upsets that's just murdering me. I'll talk about me bad beats in a second. The SIP knows I'm still burning. They talk about the next moment in life. I still haven't moved on.
Now, how'd you go?
Look, the Browns have cost me an absolute fortune. Just the head-to-head. Why would I put head-to-head in?
You've got to stay away from the AFC North, mate.
I've got a
stay away from the AFC North.
Do not put head-to-head in your multis when they're $1.30. The Bengals and the Browns, I won't tell you how much money they've cost me. From $100, can you believe they've cost me $32,000? These first 3 weeks, can you believe? And then I go, I'm going to have a little play on the late game, the Bengals. And they've lost as well.
Yeah.
Daniels has turned into Brady.
Yeah, we've got a little fun fact about that.
We've got plenty of facts coming, but let's start with our best bets. We take them seriously. We went 3 from 6 as a collective. Yeah. I lost on the Browns, Tank Dell, Tick, and Jamar Chase, which, as you knew, I could not have tipped that any harder. That was the best bet of the whole slate. That was a tick. Unfortunately for the SIP, the Raiders, they went down to the Red Rifle.
Oh, God.
That was probably one that you wish he didn't get the starting gig.
I had that in the bank, and of course, let's just change quarterback and all of a sudden play good football, and away we go. And the Raiders know how to shit the bed, so it's fantastic. So
a few business decisions. The coach wasn't happy with that. We'll talk about that later.
Sounds like it's going to be a hard week on the track for him, so good luck.
Travis Kelce, TD. We'll talk about him, but he was nowhere to be seen.
He hasn't been seen yet. I think he's still on tour with T Swift, so we need to
Kamara got over, so... You know what's letting us down? Our actual shortest leg. We might need to review our best bets because I feel like these head-to-heads are killing our best bets. We'll stick with them for a couple more weeks, but if we don't get those head-to-heads right soon, let's just go to props and touchdowns because we've been running hot.
Yes, we'll see how we go.
So everyone stick with us. You get your $40 when you take them all. We're not far off. And as I said, when you're tipping... The biggest upsets of the week happening against our best bets. I mean, that's just...
Can't do much about that, can we?
Even Vegas is wrong. Even Vegas is wrong. But the Browns, the Browns have cost me a fortune.
The Browns are brown right now. They are poo.
I'll tell you who's poo. Their quarterback. Their quarterback needs to go. I've had enough of him. He is a disgrace to the league.
They're paying him way too much money for the production that he's got on right now.
Why is he so bad? I don't know. I'm a fan of him and his work.
There has to be things that are like, we all know what's been going on.
But
well documented.
Is it that hard to...
It has to be.
Is it the offensive line as well?
No, I just think it's all up here for him. I genuinely think that. Their O-line is solid.
He's got so many good receivers.
His O-line is solid. He is just throwing the ball poorly, like... Cooper's first, this is the first week where he got a little bit of it and that, but he's got all the weapons around him and he just doesn't seem to be getting the job done for him. So there's something going on with him.
It just sums me up. I lose my last leg because the Giants beat the Browns on the road.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Kidding me. Especially we know how the Giants have been.
That's
rough. Yeah.
Week 3 talking points. Let's dive straight in.
Yeah.
Josh Allen MVP. Quick comment from you.
Star. Isn't he on fire right now? He's just... I didn't expect it. I didn't know who he was going to be able to throw to, and he is just putting up some serious numbers. I mean, you're on the relaxers halfway through the last quarter because you've just completely dominated the game. 4 tutties, 300 yards, 4 in the first half. 4 tutties, 300 yards basically in the first half, and you've just put the game to bed. Like, he is on fire right now.
The offensive coordinator needs a little pat in the back as well.
Joe Brady is going very, very well. And Joe's got a great history. So he was at LSU when they won the Natty with Joe Burrow. He's been around the league for a little while now, and he just seems to just run such a great system. And you got a pretty good quarterback to be able to run the whole show. So, yeah, his numbers are awesome right now, and he doesn't look like slowing down.
No, he doesn't. And because he uses his legs, he's so hard to stop. Like 3rd and 11, you're like...
He's a monster. He's 6'5", 6'6", like throws the ball, got a cannon arm, hard to get down, and he's actually probably making good decisions right now. Like, he's actually looking after the ball a lot better than what he has in previous years. Like, he's had more weapons, but that's probably why he's probably been a little bit more risky, whereas now... He probably doesn't have it, but he's just playing better because he's just taking the easy option every single time, and it looks outstanding.
The game plan's simplified, isn't it?
So simple.
They are literally running the ball, make a play, or use your legs.
Yeah, and Cook has been massive for him too. Like, his numbers as a running back right now has been super impressive, whereas he hasn't quite got there in the last couple of years, but this year he's just exploded, and that's been massive for him too.
What about this? I don't know if you've seen this. I'll just show you before I say it, but this is... outrageous behaviour. Now, is this play on or out of bounds? Someone's wife has a sign and it says, "Josh, I just got married, but I'd leave my husband for you. P.S. He's right there, and he's sitting next to him. And if you see his face, he's disgusted with his wife's behaviour.
Mate.
Is that acceptable at the football?
Oh, you're in America, mate. I think it's play on. Just go with it.
And do you think she would actually leave him if Josh said, "I want you"?
There's no doubt. Would you? Wouldn't you?
Oh, it's a disgrace. If my wife took that sign, of the football and was sitting front row and had it in front of the camera screen,
it'd be her last game.
Oh, now she ain't going to the footy again with me. To give you the tip, she'll be sitting in the back row in the bleachers where the camera won't find her.
And I'll take her in December where it's absolutely freezing and she's got nothing to wear.
She won't be able to hold the sign. Bengals 0-3. Fun fact on that: teams that have made the playoffs from 0-3, you have a great stat there.
1 out of 129.
1 out of 129.
So look, it's a tough ask. And they're not the only ones. There's a couple other teams there, but the Bengals, everybody was kind of expecting to be up and around the mark in terms of making playoffs and stuff, and they're really, really struggling. And what makes it even worse for them is the fact that 2 of those games, they have been the red-hot favourites. Patriots week 1, Washington on the weekend, and you're getting beaten by those teams. It's going to be a tough ask.
It is. Seattle just, on the other end, you can lead this one. Aces, if you're watching, listening, I've told you they were $9 to win the division. They are 3-0.
Tommy's very happy about this right now, everybody. Well, so they're obviously 3-0, doing their thing. San Fran's injury galore.
Did I tip that as well? Did I tip that?
Yes.
McCaffrey's off to Germany for anyone that's wondering.
Debo's on the relaxers. They've lost a couple of guys on defense, so it's looking quite pretty right now for the old Seahawks. So
it is.
It's only early though, Tommy. Don't get your chickens in one basket, mate.
DK Metcalf and just there.
They've been good. They have been good though.
Their whole team looks solid. They're only going to get better.
Yep.
Love watching them. Kelsey, he really hurt you with your best bet last week. He hurt a lot of people. We thought he'd fire up. He's not doing anything.
Nah.
But I did see a press conference with Patrick Mahomes, and he did say teams are throwing everything at him.
Which was always going to happen. But haven't they done that for the last 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, they have. But it's like Rashee Rice gets no attention, and he's so good.
Well,
so when are they going to start putting some attention to Rashee Rice and let Kelsey do his thing? Because I reckon they're going to give one. I mean, he's going to sit on our Stewie Julius, which we're going to read out in a second, because Jesus, Stewie Julius is a list you want to listen to, because everyone scored but Kelsey last week, and he'll remain on there. But you'd think Patrick will find him this week or next week.
Surely has to, doesn't he? Like, it's only a matter of time, I think so, but it's taken a bit longer than what everyone's expecting. So everyone's fantasy teams are getting very much hurt right now by this man, because he was probably a top 10 pick in there, but I don't know. Just maybe still think he's on holidays a little bit, Tommy.
Maybe. I tell you who's still on holidays.
The Swifty curse is real.
I tell you what's tough, actually, is watching the Chiefs just win, because they got how do you beat the Chiefs and the refs is the question.
You just can't.
How
it's
do you
as simple
beat
as that.
the
I know
Chiefs
that
and the
firsthand.
refs?
I know that firsthand.
You do, don't you?
Yes, I made the mistake, but yes, there was still some ref calls as part of it to be able to go with it too. Let's just say that.
What's going on, man? What are they paying them under the table?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, how does that one on the weekend, Kyle Pitts, blatantly pass interference? The guy is not even turning around. He's tackling before the ball's anywhere near him, and they call a no call.
And the week
before, you get a little tap on the back. And it's pass interference.
Last week's was there, right? It was very soft.
I know, but this week's one.
How do they miss that, though?
So, I don't know. That's hard to do that when you're playing the Chiefs and the refs, and you're
at home?
Mate.
Anyway, we'll move on. We'll get angry.
Yeah, I'm getting red.
What about the red rifle?
Speaking of red.
Speaking of red, let's go straight into it. The red rifle.
On fire.
Andy Dalton has taken over. And you know what I love? We're having a laugh with Rory Atkins and Dion Preston, our fantasy group, and we're watching it at 3 a.m. in the morning. And it was literally, I think Rory goes, "There you go, young fella. It's not that hard," because he literally got the ball and just went bang, touchdown. Like, move the fuck out the way, son, and do your apprenticeship, because you've had weeks of just putting up nothing, and the red rifle's gone bang and haven't. Gee, now they're all of a sudden, that division's wide open, but
it is wide open.
There's a pulse, and the coach probably looks like a genius, because everyone was going, "What are you doing? You can't be dropping the number 1 pick."
Yeah. Now it looks like it's absolute money for him, but seriously good game from him. Like, He's an experienced man. I mean, he was the guy in the Bengals for a very, very long time, and he's had a great record there. Good on him. The Red Rifle was up and about. He's going to go again, and he's got a little bit of a revenge tour for him this week. He's up against the old mob, so
he's got 5 of his old teams in a row or something.
I didn't even know that he actually played for 5 different teams because he was at the Bengals for that long. It's like you forget that he was on the move after they kind of went with the Joe Burrow direction and. Yeah, it's good to see him doing his thing.
Yeah, I think I saw Aaron Rodgers last night on Pat McAfee's show. I was watching. I love those interviews he does because I'm just.
He's a regular.
Yeah, he is. Just get his perspective, and he's very calm. And he said he's one of the good guys, and he's very happy for him. And he did say he's been thrown around like all over the place.
Yeah,
like you just said. Yeah, so to be there now and getting a chance, it's fantastic. 319 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Outstanding.
No one's done it this year, and he just comes on and just does what he wants.
A guy that has nearly done it is Sam Darnold at the Vikings. I mean, it's not that hard to get a quarterback. You just got to get him out of New York and get him off the the twos. But
very true.
It's exciting. Oh, his knee's all good.
Yeah, I think so. No, he's had the scan, did a little bit of bone bruising. He'll be right, ready to go again.
God,
so
you don't want to see him go down. That would be a disaster.
And they played unbelievable. Like he only threw for 180 yards or something on the weekend, but 4 tutties. Like just playing some really, really good. And we're underrating probably the Vikings defense as well. Like Vikings are putting him in great spots to be able to go and execute and does what he needs to do. But he's still got to go out there and get it done. And he is. 4 tutties against a Houston defense that has been on pretty good form, right now, and you're holding that mob to 7 points and you're putting up 34 of your own. It's
Aaron Jones
it's pretty
really
sharp.
Good as well.
Really sharp. They've got a good system going on right now, and Kevin McConnell is a great coach. Like he first year gets them to playoffs. Last year, Kurt goes down for him a little bit rough, but he's got great experience and got him in pretty good touch right now.
It's great to watch. I love watching their offense, and as I said at the start of the year,
that division's got a little bit tighter now. All of a sudden, like we wouldn't have picked it. I don't think many people would have tipped the Vikings to do their thing, and that division's open right up as well.
The lines aren't moving yet. They're still it's like they're trying to get going.
Green Bay are holding on just right while Love's obviously still out, but
that'll be the toughest division.
And the Bears obviously. They're getting there. They're getting there.
AFC North we thought would be tough. Yeah. It's not at the moment. They're all losing.
Talk about my Steelers though, mate.
We'll get them in a second. We'll fly through last week.
Here. Let's go.
We're going to finish with some fun facts, but I'll give you a few. I'm just going to roll them off.
Yep.
Here's the first one. The biggest underdogs have won outright each week this season. So every week.
So the biggest underdog week one would have been the Patriots.
It was the Patriots
against the Bengals.
At the Bengals. Yeah, so 7.5 points.
Yep.
They won.
Yeah.
The next week was the Raiders at the Ravens.
Oh yeah.
They had an 8.5.
It was 8.5
advantage.
Yeah. I think may have even got to 9, but
they won.
They won.
And then last week was the Commanders.
Against the Bengals
7.5 points they gave them and they won. So
who's this week? Do we know?
This week is the Patriots against San Fran.
No shot.
I can't see that.
No shot.
I can't see that.
No. You could play San Fran's twos, which they basically are right now, and they'll still should be fine, I think. But
the Bengals have actually lost as the biggest underdogs twice this season, as I said.
Yep.
Now, teams that haven't led for a single second this season, guess who that would be? There's only one of them.
Dolphins.
Correct.
Didn't they win week 1?
Their only win was a walk-off field goal with 0-0 on the clock.
Hang on, so they won
against the Jags.
The Jags.
Yeah.
But they kicked a field goal with 0-0 on the clock, so technically they never led.
Dolphins haven't led for a single second all season due to the fact there was 0.00 on the clock.
And they've won. That even makes it even more fascinating. That you're actually 1 and 2 and you've never led. How about that?
We'll fly through. Justin Tucker has the worst field goal percentage in the NFL at the moment. I think it's 68% or something like that.
Some people would be really happy with that right now. Like I know that he's not the most popular player out there.
People don't like how he acts, do they?
And hey, you're the greatest of all time. Yep. Like you're allowed to do what you want, but some people would be very satisfied with that right now. But it is very surprising. Like, I've watched a few of the Baltimore games. I've obviously been in prime time and that, which helps, but I've watched a couple obviously already this year, and they're ones that are like 45, 46, like they're just his money shots and things like that. So bit of a watch this space
he
for
looked
him. For
rattled.
sure.
I think the coach grabbed him and gave him a bit of a kiss on the helmet. It's just like
there's something
it's
going
all good.
on. Sure, yeah,
it's all good, but it's definitely not all good if we
lost.
lost.
It happens to the best of us, mate. It happens to the best of us.
It does. Don't worry. All right, we're going to fly through. The Stewie Jew TD list last week was hot. So we're going to keep this segment running. It's getting harder, obviously, as the season goes. But this is last week. Jamar Chase, TD, tick. He's out of the Stewie Jew list. Garrett Wilson, TD, tick. He's out of the list. Bajan Robinson, TD, tick. He goes. Amon Ra, St. Brown, TD, tick. And our last one from last week was Travis Kelce, TD.
The Swifty era.
So, Travis, if you're listening, you're still on the Stewie Jew list. And we've added a few to it. These are guys that have not scored a touchdown. Christian Kirk from the Jags, TD. Josh Jacobs, believe it or not, been running the house down, but hasn't scored a TD from the Packers. Mark Andrews, tight end of the Ravens, TD, beast normally. He's due. Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins, no TD. And DJ Moore from the Bears. Has not scored a TD. So they go on our list. We'll review that next week. If you're listening, just have a look at them. They're all juicy. All right, let's kick off the slate. Week 4. It's the Sipos Cup. It's Dallas versus the Giants.
Here we go.
Here we go. At MetLife Stadium, do not think the Giants are going to go on the run. I'm telling you that this league overreacts. The Giants are huge. The Dallas Cowboys haven't had great success so far, but I just feel like this could be ugly.
Great success, though, against the Giants. That's for sure.
These are two teams you hate.
Oh, mate.
So
I don't really care who wins, but like.
Yes, you do. You don't. I think you hate the Giants more.
I hate the Giants. I hope Cowboys win like 41-10 and just like put them to bed. And Daniel Jones is on the chopping block again, and I can't wait for it. Anyway, CD's going to go over 120, 2 tutties, and we're going to have a field day. So I can't wait for the New York Giants fans to lose their minds over this one again.
We do. Me and you had a chat. We're going to put on a little, same gamer on privately. Me and you with our little punters club we've got, but. We really like Rico Dowdle, don't we?
Yeah. So he's starting to get those first reps now, and they struggled running the ball last week, but Baltimore is got a great run defense, which has been that way for a long time. And but he had 8 carries last week, 32 yards. Next best was obviously forward Dak, and they're not design runs for him. So he's clearly the number 1 guy right now, and I think he can. Find himself in the end zone this week for sure and give himself a few carries. So
we also think CD gets really nice matchup.
Last week there was a little bit of tension going on. He gets a great matchup, and I think he is on for an absolute tear.
Love it. I couldn't agree more. I think Jones will be throwing the ball. I mean, he only needs to get 200 yards to go over, so we'll take that. It's not a lot of yards, but with Neighbours there, he's a real
chasing the whole time. So
he's a real weapon. Doubt. So that'll be good. But Dallas at $1.43, like. I would put them as my lock, but this won't be out quick enough for people to consume it, so I won't. But I would say this is the best value on the whole slate at $1.43.
Yeah, it actually is pretty good.
I know we said stay away from head-to-heads, but that is the juiciest you'll get. I think Dallas v. Giants, it's like, what are we missing here?
And they've tormented the Giants for the last couple of years. I don't think games have been close. They've absolutely rattled them. So
primetime game, Thursday night football, short turnaround for Dallas and the teams, but... Looking forward to this one. If New York do win this, though, there's some serious questions being asked for Jerry Jones.
Welcome to the NFL.
New Orleans at Atlanta. Let's kick it off 3 a.m. Geez, the games are still 3 a.m. I'm struggling this week.
We're not far away from them getting pushed back a little bit. I need
daylight savings to kick in, mate, because these 3 a.m. are going to kill me soon.
Yeah.
New Orleans at Atlanta. This is a big game.
Yeah, divisions are starting to pop up now, the division games, which are big, and this is a big one. I think these are the 2 teams fighting it out for the division. I really think that. And
this is massive. I need Atlanta to win this.
This is huge. Like... I don't know. You just look at the team and you're just going to have to go New Orleans. Like, they arguably should have won last week again. Like, arguably should have beaten Philly. I'm going New Orleans. I think Kamara is just playing some really good ball right now. The offense is going okay. Defense is pretty solid, but it'll be close. It'll be very, very close. New Orleans just.
I'm going to go Atlanta. I wonder if this will be, because last week was so low scoring. It was 2 high-powered offenses, and it was weird how they couldn't get going. Got to respect the defenses, to be honest. Atlanta's been pretty solid. I thought they should have beat the Chiefs last week. So if I'm going off that, I'm going to stick with them. I have tipped them in the division, so they need to win.
Yes.
And I'd love to see Pitts get involved. I was disappointed last week. He had great matchups. He's taller. Obviously he should have got the touchdown and the pass interference late, but just
There's
fine.
no excuses for him now, though. He's got the quarterback to get it done.
They're not throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with Duffy going to London last week. I thought Pitts had a balls-out matchup and should have received 8 targets. He got like 3, and he caught a bomb for 50 yards, but he was disappointing. Not him. He was great. I felt like their offensive coordinator should have called his name more.
Yeah.
So I'd expect him to get
hopefully
going.
That's the case this week.
Looking forward to seeing my man Bijan. It's Bijan v. Kamara.
Yeah,
I mean, these are great teams. It's good to watch. That'll be a great game to watch.
It's good.
Let's move on to the next game. It's Los Angeles Rams at Chicago Bears, at Soldier Field here in Chicago. The Chicago have been really disappointing, I'll be honest. You watch Washington and you compare the two, the top
Very
2 picks. But we know there's,
he threw the ball around last week, though, didn't he? Like, it's just, what are they,
He's out of the pocket, he's sprinting, he's forcing it. I don't know. I'm not liking Chicago as much as the hype was there. It's always the way, isn't it? You hype them up.
I think it's their run game, to be honest.
Swift.
Like, where has he been?
Well, he's never really been anywhere since he wasn't at the Philly offensive line helped him, I reckon.
I know, but I think that's what's putting him in real trouble. Like, they're relying so heavily now on Williams passing the ball and their weapons on the outside, but where's their run game? Their run game is nowhere to be seen right now, and you've gone out and paid the big bucks to get a good running back, and you've gone out there and tried to get a couple of guys in the O-line to be able to help that, and it's just nowhere to be seen. So you put all this pressure on your number 1 draft pick to go out there and do his thing, and it's just not happening right now. So they've got to get their run game going in some way, shape, or form. There's a good opportunity, I think, to be able to do that against the Rams.
There is.
So we're going to find out this week if they can get something going. If you can't get it going against this Rams team now with no Aaron Donald, then they could be in for a longer year. That's for sure.
I'm on our favourite app, Sleeper, and they have a bright green matchup.
Yes.
They haven't had a good matchup yet, so expect...
This is the week. I just think they have to do it.
Expect a strong run game.
Yeah, I think that can be the case. They need to because... As I said, they're just applying too much pressure on the young man, and the run game just helps that so much more.
Yeah, love it, mate. Take a little note there while we keep going through, but the run game from Swift is expected. Well, I'm going to tip... I always go head-to-head and I take the quarterback.
The Rams had an impressive win last week too.
I'm going to take the Rams, man.
I think I just have to go based on form right now is the Rams. They had a great win against San Fran. I know they had some guys out, but so do the Rams. Like, no Cup, no Puka. Like, they've got some areas too that are a bit of concern, and I think the experience just gets them over the line. At
220, it's really nice odds. It's more Stafford versus the young quarterback, number 1 pick.
I think so too.
Williams v. Stafford. I trust Stafford.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to for me too, so prove me wrong.
This is a huge game. Probably one of the more exciting games for the week. Minnesota at Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's hard to win at Lambeau Field, and... Jeez, Malik Willis, didn't he just tell the Titans, well, you took Levis and you got rid of me. You probably should have kept me.
That's right.
He was impressive.
Good on him. I'm happy for him. That's excellent.
Having a backup quarterback, I mean, Miami would be just so jealous.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find a good backup. He looks solid. And Jordan Love can probably have a couple more weeks off to rest, his knee the way he's going.
Yeah, they've done well. Like, good. That's been awesome for them. This is going to be a great matchup.
Really
Minnesota's defense has been unbelievable, though. Like
Brian Flores.
Yeah.
People don't realize he was, they would if they love NFL, but he's head coach of Miami, 2 or 3 years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing.
And he got put through the ringer for that too. So but he has got that defense absolutely humming right now. And you've given up 7 points last week to Houston. You've given up 17 to San Fran the week before with their offense. Like, you're doing something right, and this one's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I think they can go into Lambeau, and I think they can get it done. Yeah, wow.
I don't know. I don't know what. Like, I feel like will it?
It's a great matchup.
Are we overreacting on Minnesota? It's first 3 weeks. That's one thing Aaron Rodgers said on that Pat McAfee interviews. Like, it's been 3 weeks. We haven't even got film on teams. Now we've got film. 4 weeks we can start to go. They're consistently doing this. So
no doubt.
Jay Alexander goes to Justin Jefferson. He's traditionally got his measure, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been pretty good against him, no doubt.
I think you stop Justin Jefferson. Does Darnold have that sore knee?
They've got a couple of extra guys there to be able to still get it done.
I'm going to go to the Packers because they're at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It. Great.
That's it.
This is good.
It's going to go to the Packers. But,
excellent.
Either. What are the bookies saying?
Excellent.
The bookies are saying it's $1.67 Packers. Again, good value for the Vikings. All right, now these two teams, with this first team, Pittsburgh, I don't know how they've won 3 games in a row. They've got the worst offense, but they're probably getting better every week, which is scary for my Ravens. They are playing the Colts at the Colts. The Colts have been so inconsistent, but Jonathan Taylor's been the shining light.
Yeah.
I must say he was impressive last week.
He's carrying a baby a bit too much. The young quarterback's got some work to do.
Oh, he's got a lot of work to do.
And he's got a team that are humming on defense.
He got it done last week, but it's more probably because of their run game with Jonathan Taylor. Now, who are you tipping here?
I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go the Colts. I'm going to see if I just can't. I can't have Pittsburgh. I can't have them. They'll probably win again. They keep playing these teams and just grinding out wins.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about, though. It doesn't. It's not pretty and everything like that. It's not. I get it, but yeah, I just think that they're gradually building on offense. Fields is making progress, which nobody kind of expected, and their defense is their defense. And I think they're coming up against a young quarterback that they're just going to give different looks to. It's going to make it extremely hard. And
Pittsburgh
are too good.
I'm going to go the Colts, and I'll tell you why. There's a matchup that's a nightmare for everyone, TJ Watt.
Oh.
But the offensive line at the Colts is top 3 in the league.
They are rock solid.
So if they can get rid of his pressure and give the young quarterback a little bit more time, they might even get him out of the pocket on the other side and get the run game going. I do think the Colts defense has been pretty solid.
Yep.
And I'm going to back in the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to back them in.
All right.
And I'm going to see. And you know what I forgot to mention earlier?
We had a couple of different ones. This is good.
Our Stewie Jew list, Adonis Mitchell, I think it's his first name. But he was on there and I've taken him off. But we probably should have left him on there.
Yeah, we might. Maybe we have to put him back on.
It's hard with this quarterback. He's a bit, how you going? But
it's a bit rough for him. But Pittman's like...
Yeah.
I mean...
He's been a bit banged up, Pittman. So I just think, keep your eyes on Mitchell. Yeah. He might be one of those guys that I might follow up with this week. Right. It's a bit of an unlikely type.
Right. Yep.
But not a really exciting game, I don't think. The next game, here we go, my boys.
Talk about not exciting.
Well, I think this is exciting.
I don't.
Denver at New York. Patrick Surtain makes the game tough to watch because he's so good at corner. He'll go to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
So downgrade
they had
Garrett.
The same thing last week at Gonzalez again with the Patriots, and they won 24-3. This game's over. Jets.
Bo Nix, how many interceptions? Was good last week. Give him his flowers.
I know, but Jets defense are very good. So good luck.
Take Bo Nix for an interception this week.
Two. Take him for 2.
I think that, you know what? They might even, they're $1.27. That's just too short. It's too short. Yeah. Would probably be my lock though. Breece Hall running game. The running backs are interesting there. I'm a bit confused at what they're doing. There's a young guy there.
They've been quite dynamic though. Like Allen's obviously going in there and getting some good reps though. But it's the 1-2 punch, which I don't know if many people kind of predicted has been quite damaging.
It has been.
They're both getting. And Aaron Rodgers came to life last week. It was awesome to see. And I just think that the Jets get this done relatively easy, mate.
Breece Hall scored a touchdown every week.
Yeah.
He's had 2 rushing and 1 receiving. So we did tell you he's a beast and he can do it in the air. His rushing game's actually, I wouldn't be going over it. He's only had 54, 62 and 54. So when it comes to rushing, I wouldn't be getting too excited on that prop. Just be careful. He's more of a catching back.
Yeah.
And they're putting in Allen to, he's so
he's big.
Man, he's a big boy.
Yeah,
breaks the lines. They've got a really good offense. When Aaron Rodgers is fit, that O-line's been solid.
They do.
You can run it. You can throw it. The tight end Conklin.
He loves Lazard. Finds him in the end zone.
Actually, you know what? Mike Williams is the steward.
Yeah, and Mike
Williams is the steward.
Supposedly, now he's going to be out there a bit more. The repetitions are coming for him, so
I might put Mike Williams in it. My best bets I'm going to build as we go, but he's sitting in my mind.
You've got a few.
He did a jump ball last week and he just dropped it, but the jump ball is what he's known for.
That's his
go-to. Down there, it's just put it in the back corner.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving. It's a simple game there. We don't really like much on offense for Denver. Philly at Tampa. Tampa were very bad last week, and I really like Philly to bounce back here. But you just told me Devontae Smith might have concussion. AJ Brown still recovering from a soft tissue injury. Yeah. Saquon Barkley goes up against a tough run defense, so he might have to catch the ball.
They're light on the wide receiver.
Joe Dirk was amazing last week. Wish he got over. Cost me a stack. But anyway, that's another one. What wide receivers are going to come to life if the two main are out?
Well, Dotson's the only one.
Do you trust Dotson?
Dotson's the only one right now because they don't really have many others. They've had to put another young wide receiver who was their punt returner on IR. So he's out for 4 weeks, a minimum too, and he's been the guy that's kind of been in for AJ a little bit, getting some work done. But Dotson is literally kind of their only option. Otherwise, Dallas is going to be getting fed, or Barclay is just going to be getting the rock pounded to him, and that's all there is to it. So that does make it very interesting. I'd be shocked if Smith plays this week. I'd be shocked. That hit was massive.
It was rattled.
It was massive, and some can put it into question whether it was a little bit dirty or not. Remains to be seen in that, but there's been enough out there to showcase that maybe it was. But he's in. I don't think he plays. I don't think he gets up. That's going to be my assumption. So offense gets a little more interesting. The best two for him clearly, arguably in the league too, as a combo, and they're both not playing. Just makes it a little tougher, and you would love him to be out there because Tampa's secondary has been very questionable, but it certainly makes it a little bit easier for him without them.
Dotson's hard to trust. He played 88% snap percentage and 79 the week prior, and he's combined for 14 yards and four targets and 3 receptions. He hasn't really done anything.
No, that's right.
But
that's the connection that you're going to have when you get traded just before the season starts. Not much time to be able to build some form of connection and get that going like you've got with the other two.
You're not getting your name called, are you?
Not getting your name called and
tough,
that out there.
You're the third best receiver on a really good team.
And he's damaging. Like, he's actually pretty solid.
Maybe he has to do something this week.
Well, he's got no choice.
Their secondary's not great.
So the other two guys simply aren't even out there training right now. So he has to be getting the reps right now during practice this week to see what's going on. But going from a guy that's hasn't even seen the ball to now teams are clearly going to be looking at him and going like, well, if we stop him, what else have they got? It's interesting.
There's a guy called Johnny Wilson. He's a rookie, 6'6". I mean, I'm just reading this guy's name out because
John Ross they just put up as they just put on their practice squad as well. So he might get elevated, bit of experience, old Cincinnati guy, quite quick. He might get elevated too and see what happens. He was there with them during training camp and that, but got cut. Now they've put him back on. So in the end, I think maybe Tampa.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Bucky Irving has been outstanding as a rookie running back.
He's taken over the
coach has said he might be number one, which is really interesting on a lot of people had Rashad White early in draft and fantasy. Scary. But, mate, this is going to be interesting. This could be really high scoring. It could just be Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and Goddard versus Mikey Evans and Godwin and Baker.
Philly's defense have been reasonably solid, though.
It's hard when you're out there a lot.
But, yeah.
Saquon Barkley will need to do. You know what? I reckon I can see him getting a receiving touchdown this week.
Yeah, well, he had one week one, and I could definitely see him being used more to throw the ball for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to lean Philly, and so's the bookies.
They are
more with my heart. I wouldn't be going head to head in this game. Tampa were pretty bad last week, and I'm interested just to see if Jalen Hurts and Saquon can just run the ball and chew the clock because they do hold onto the ball and chew the clock. And
they do.
I reckon that Philly defense, big tick last week against a high-powered, speedy offense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. It's the Red Rifle Cup. It is Cincinnati Bengals who are 0-3 taking on the Carolina Panthers. This one's in Charlotte. And I'm excited to see what the Red Rifle can do against his old team. Joe Burrow and the offense were fantastic, but the defense couldn't stop a thing. They were pathetic, and they could not. I don't think there was a punt. There's a record. There wasn't one punt in the game, which we love, actually. The only thing I've got,
sixth time in the history.
The only concern I've got is Adam Thielen has a significant hamstring injury.
Hurt.
Deontay Johnson was super, but they're probably going to put more attention, double team, all that kind of stuff. The run game got going. I really liked that, but I watched last week, and the run game was really tough for the Washington Commanders to get going. I thought Brian Robinson, he just couldn't get going. They pounded the rock a lot. So the Bengals run D tick, pass defense no. I reckon the Bengals will get back on track here. And you know what? They might be my best bet for the week at $1.47. I think they're going to get it done. I'm not going to buy into the Red Rifle. They played the Raiders.
You've done that twice now with the Bengals, so don't do that. Don't do that.
The Bengals are
Don't do that.
I just realised the Bengals are giving me nightmares. I'm taking them.
Don't do the best bet. Just, we think they'll win, but don't do the best bet. What about that?
Nah, I'm going to take them. with Thielen out and T. Higgins back.
The Bengals have to win this game to get something going. If they don't win this game, they are shot. If you lose to Carolina, you lose to Washington and Patriots, arguably the 3 worst teams in the league. If you do that in your first 4 games, say good night. Say good night.
Yeah, well, I'll reassess my best bets later, but I just feel like that.
Have to win.
I feel like they're getting overhyped, the Panthers.
Have to. Yes, they are.
The Red Rifle will come back to earth here.
I think so too.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope he keeps going. They left Deontay Johnson on the bench last week. Couldn't believe it. Righto, this is a huge game. These Jacksonville Jags are in serious strife. That O-line is pathetic.
Head coach is under some serious heat.
Yeah, he is.
Did you see the stat?
What is it?
So, Jaguars 8-3 on top of the division last year, absolutely cruising. They have lost 8 in a row.
Wow, I didn't know that.
8 in a row.
That's probably why I keep thinking they're going to bounce back.
8 in a row.
Friend's your friend, as they always say, and that is bad.
Yeah.
I thought they'd fire a shot last week. Remember I said to you there'll be an upset on these double games, and of course it's Washington, and I said go Jags. Yeah. Just because I was like, I'm ready for an upset.
They were horrible.
Yeah,
Trevor, I don't know what's happening with Trevor. I don't know what's going on.
He has weapons around him as well.
I know. It's not like he doesn't have the weapons around to be able to do it.
Let's just take the offense away for a second. What about the defense? It was honestly
rough.
Just like slicing through butter.
Yeah.
They literally went, Josh Allen just went boom, 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 and 30 points at halftime.
You're there. Yeah.
30 points at halftime.
34.
There's no effort. It's a real concern.
Oh.
I mean, Trev's got it's pretty tough when you're down 27.
Oh, yeah, I know. But
well, they're playing Houston at Houston, and Houston last week they
were putrid too.
Geez, Tank Dell, can you get over?
Yeah.
We had him for our Stewie Julius. He was the only one.
Yeah.
I really like Nico Collins this week.
Houston
Tank Dell got a little bit banged up late. He went off on did he go off on a stretcher? I'm not sure, but he hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
I liked
Houston bounce back.
I liked Diggs last week.
Yeah,
we forgot that was his first game back in Minnesota. We probably should have mentioned that.
I know, forgot about that too.
That G'd him up a bit. He had a few more catches and yards.
Well, it's only because he was at Buffalo
for so long.
For so long, I reckon we probably missed that. But yeah. Houston bounced back on this one. I think Jacksonville, we might actually see our first firing.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
You got to go to week 7, don't you?
Yeah, but again, they've lost 8 in a row. They were 8-3 last year, number 1 in the division, primed up, ready to go to take the number 4 spot, and you don't make the playoffs after that, and then now you're 0-3, potentially going 0-4.
Yeah. So you're going to call head coach sacked if they lose week 4.
No, I won't go week 4. But if they go to 0-5, he's in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep moving. Washington at Arizona. This is exciting because we've got two.
Yeah, Washington have been a bit of a surprise packet, haven't they?
Two kind of teams that you don't expect much from, but they've been pretty good, especially on offense.
Yeah.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr., he will be going off in this game. Remember, Washington have the worst defense the secondary. Jamar Chase showed you what they did last week.
They do. Marvin really could go for an absolute tear for sure.
And on the other side of the ball, Washington, they started to click with Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry is such
Terry's part of my maybe a little bit later on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Little. I like that.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Yeah. Arizona are favourite at
Arizona
$1.50.
at home, I think.
No McBride though.
Yeah, no I understand that. No McBride.
Maybe it's a Wilson game.
But I think Arizona at home are going to they'll be fine. Kyler's playing pretty decent.
He is. I'm a really big fan of Washington's head coach. I think Dan Quinn. Yeah. You wonder why Dallas aren't going so well on defense. Remember, he was the defensive coordinator who left and got the head coaching gig. It's amazing when you follow these trends and go, why are their defense so got
it going?
Yeah, it's little things like that. So
he's a great coach.
Great coach. And apparently everyone loves him.
Yeah. Boys love him.
I'm going to tip.
Excellent.
I'm going to tip. I'd love to go Washington, but I'll back in the gingerbread man. I'll back him in at home. All right. The biggest upset of the week. Can it happen? It's happened 3 weeks in a row. Here we go. It's New England at San Francisco. A lot of injuries Purdy saw. What we saw last week.
They lost Javon Hargraves on defense too. They paid a lot of money for him to be able to do torn tricep. So,
really?
Yeah.
So what's that mean?
Out for the year.
Yeah, but does that mean that there might be...
it gives England a bit more of a chance. New England a bit more of a chance.
They did play the Jets last week. Yeah. Jets defense stacked.
Oh, they're great. I don't know. I think now you've just said to talk about the tape and that stuff, though. I think that they can get it done. But it's interesting, like, their defense certainly was not the same as what it was last year. They've obviously changed coordinators, and it's funny. It's Brandon Staley who's taken over, who was the Chargers. Yeah, was the Chargers head coach, and now he's gone over to San Fran. And you talk about, you know, Dan Quinn and like how it's changed over there for Washington. Well, same thing might be happening a little bit. Same thing's happening a little bit over there. Coach. Same thing's happening over there. So, don't know, but San Fran at home, surely.
480.
Surely San Fran at home, they're fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to tip against them, but I wouldn't be backing San Fran at $1.18.
I think that trend breaks this week. I think that trend breaks. But that's, yeah.
You know who I just realised who's not on the Stewie G list?
Who?
You'll know now. He's a wide receiver for San Fran.
Ayuk?
Yep.
Yeah. He deserves to be on there. You can't be getting paid.
Well, he has a tough corner on him this week.
You can't be getting paid $30 million a year and not show up to training, and then
if he doesn't score this week,
and then
he'll be a balls out
deliver, and then deliver.
Well,
you got Juwan Jennings scores 3 tutties for 150 yards, and you're the highest paid out there by a long way, and you're doing that. Come on, man.
I know. Without Debo and Kittle.
Come on, man.
I know.
Seriously.
Cost me as well, I think.
Yeah, I bet, no doubt. Yeah.
Cleveland,
he's definitely on the list.
You read this team out. That made me sick. I know why they called the Browns.
Next one here is the Cleveland Browns against the Las Vegas Raiders, and this could be all kinds of pooch, to be honest. These are two teams that are stinking right now. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
No, you've summed it up.
Vegas lose at home to the Panthers,
and
the Browns lose at home to the Giants. I don't know what else to say. This game's in Vegas. They don't even have the odds I hear right now because they don't even know what the hell's going on.
That's what I'm looking at. There's no odds because they don't go these.
They don't even know what's going to happen here.
No one's betting on this game because they know they're both horrific.
I actually don't want to pick because I don't know. I actually have no idea. You go on paper that the Browns look like the better team.
I know what's going to happen.
I don't know.
I know what's going to happen. The Browns will win because they cost me a stack last week. So the Browns will win this week, and they'll probably look amazing.
Gosh,
I
don't know.
The Browns just purely because of the defense.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to tip the Browns too, based on defense as well.
And you know what?
Quarterback change maybe for the Raiders. Head coach hit him up pretty hard about it. Attitude adjustment.
Was you talking about the quarterback? You reckon?
I reckon. I don't know. I reckon he's talking about in general, like no doubt, but I still think there could be a quarterback change.
I hope the Raiders lose and they trade Devontae Adams to the Jets or somewhere because I'm sick of seeing a primetime wide receiver playing at a horrific franchise. Yeah. And there's no future there for him. They're 3 years away from having some sort of quarterback.
They don't have anything for him, mate.
Trade him. Well, get some picks.
Yeah.
He should go to Los Angeles, to be honest. They need someone. Yeah. Let's move on. Kansas City taking on Los Angeles Chargers.
Sorry, it's the refs taking on the LA Chargers.
The refs taking on the LA Chargers. Hey, Joel. Hey.
That's stiff. He's been dynamic.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Oh.
He's out. Therefore, I think Kansas City are going to have a field day with these guys. And Herbert looks sore. I don't even know if he's playing.
Yeah, he's sore. Jeez, he's sore.
This is probably the easiest.
Chiefs will continue on their little trend, I reckon, to be honest. And it gets a bit tiring, but, you know.
He doesn't mind California, Kelsey.
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium. If he's going to score.
It may as well be here.
Yeah.
May as well be here. So, Chiefs for me, I think, pretty comfortably as well.
Division game as well?
Division game always, but they like, I mean, the Chargers have been the one team that have had a little success against them out of the division, but not this week.
No. All right. Let's pick the energy up because it's Buffalo at the Baltimore Ravens. They're playing at M&T Bank Stadium, and the Ravens lost last time they were there. The Ravens are slowly getting to go. They're 1-2. The Ravens need this because they need it for, my futures. I need Bills to lose so the Jets can jump them. This is a huge game for the train.
Massive.
Huge for me.
Massive.
Huge for you.
Your Monday morning game, excellent.
Exciting offenses.
Yeah.
This is $1.74 to Baltimore. You get $2.10 for the Bills the road. They haven't seen a strong defense yet, the Bills. Can we see Josh Allen playing from behind, doing stupid interceptions like we used to? Or are we going to see an absolute superstar this year? Because if Josh Allen wins this game, you could almost pencil in the MVP if he stays healthy.
Yep.
I can't wait for this game. It makes me a bit nervous. I'll be honest. I'm kind of not looking forward to it because I'm scared we're going to lose.
Up and about.
And the reason I'm up and about is because the big Derrick Henry train's going to continue. Did you see him eat last week? Oh, Jerry Jones would have been twitching in his corporate box watching the big king come down the guts. I can't wait. So we'll continue with the king. Lamar Jackson, please finish the game a little bit better. You've been finishing games a bit too slow for my liking, but got out the blocks last week, and I love that. And our man Mark Andrews has been non-existent.
Nowhere.
Last week,
one target.
Yes, one target. But this week, I feel like from the study I've done the last 3 weeks, Bills, they played 2 safeties, a bit soft, and they let you just get in the slot. And it's Kirk last week, and that's why he was their best bet. And we kind of, we got around him, and he had 79 yards and a lot of targets, but just little slants. And I feel like they're going to give them up all day. So I expect Mark Andrews to be in this game a lot.
Yep.
A lot of speed on the outside.
Yep.
And if Derrick Henry can get going, I really like that as well. On the other side of the ball, Kincaid's starting to grow. He hasn't needed to continue his work because they're so far up, but I reckon this will be closer. So I really like the tight ends in this matchup, mate. And
I've seen that too.
I wonder
Kincaid
if they can stop the run game from Cook. It's going to be interesting because the Baltimore Ravens didn't really let the Dallas Cowboys run last week because they got out the blocks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the Ravens, and I'm going to look for Mark Andrews. I think it's a Mark Andrews game.
Yep.
Week 4. You'll see Mark Andrews step up to the plate.
I think so. I'm with you on it. I think you've said that beautifully, Tommy. I think Baltimore probably needs to win this game. You can't be 1-3 and kind of starting to chase a little bit. And, their first 3 weeks have been tough in terms of matchups. They've played some quality, but this one's a big test for them. But I think they need to be able to get this done, get themselves back to 500, and this is going to be a ripping game, absolutely ripping game. So make sure you tune in for this one.
I love how they put this on at prime time,
Excellent.
Oh, mate, so just for you guys, it's 10:20 a.m. still on your Monday morning. So if you're a bit tired, this will definitely fire you up if you've watched the 3 a.m. games. Righto, let's go to Tuesday. We've got another double.
Another double.
How good's the double?
On the doubles.
I tell you what, we had the Kincaid into Jamar Chase. And we had the Bengals to win, which hurt. But flicking between 2 teams, it's
very good.
It's very good. I need 2 TVs.
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Let's go quick here because it's a bit average, this one. Tennessee Titans, probably, I think Levis would be in the gun a little bit. He's been really bad. Coach has given him a few whacks in press conferences. Yep. They go to Miami, Hard Rock Stadium at night. A bit slippery and dewy. The Dolphins are $2. Tennessee $1.80. They are the juiciest odds you'll get. Who's going to be quarterback on Miami? I think Huntley needs to start, but I'm not the head coach. But if he starts, Miami will win.
They need to make something happen very quickly.
Waddle's on our hit list.
Yeah, Waddle's on the hit list. He needs to get going. I know it's been tough, but you're due, mate. You need to get it done.
I think Miami defense can stop the Titans here. Their wide receivers
Levis is leaking way too much. You've got guys there to be able to get it to. You're doing too much, mate. It's just not going well for him. And I think Miami's defense will be able to go out there and get it done.
Love it. Seattle. Let's just move on because that game, that would have been so exciting if Tua was there.
I know.
Okay, Seattle at Detroit. This is the 10:15 a.m. game. So Australian Eastern Standard Time. But this one's in Detroit, Ford Field. Now, I think Detroit, Laporta went off last week.
Yep.
I hope he's all right. I haven't seen the injury list, but that'll be interesting. Seattle, as you know, I'm big on them. Mm-hmm. They have great corners. Yep. So Amon Ra, Jamison Williams. But I don't reckon they've seen a 2-headed monster like Montgomery and Gibbs. Yep. And I reckon they're going to run the ball. Yep. So I think Detroit Lions will win this with the run game. Yep. Kenneth Walker's still questionable with the oblique. Yep. Seattle's run game's okay, but I think they'll have to do a lot in the air. DK Metcalf's been strong,
which I think they can. I think they can. I think they can in the air. Like that's probably the weakness for Detroit's defense is probably their corners. So it's definitely gettable for sure to be able to put up some big numbers.
I'm going to tip Detroit.
Yeah, I think Detroit just at home are probably just going to be a little bit too good. But that's a good matchup. That's a good one to be able to watch there for next week because
great primetime games.
Seattle are playing some good football right now. Their head coaches come in and really got it rolling, which has been really good for them. But Detroit, I think at home, if they want to start to insert themselves a little bit as the team that they were last year, this is one that they should be able to get done and need to get done.
And I was just thinking, I don't know why, fascinated with this Stewie Dew list at the start, but I don't think Tyler Lockett has a touchdown yet.
No, he doesn't.
So he's the only one.
Yeah.
Just an interesting one there. Yeah. He might be the one that gets over because DK Metcalf's been amazing.
Yes.
Every time I turn on Red Zone, it's like DK Metcalf out the back with his big stride.
Massive dude.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Look, if Seattle win, happy days for the divisions, but I think Detroit will win this one just purely because it's at home. Yeah. It'll be close. It could come down to a field goal.
It could. They've had some close matchups in the past, so that's going to be a great one.
That's all we've got, but our best bet's coming up next, and we're going to dissect our best three as we always do. We're going to hit this week.
We are going to hit.
We're feeling it. The chemistry's there. Week 3, we're 50, 60, 80%. We're going to get 100%. We're going to combine our best head-to-head TD and our prop up next. But thank you so much for tuning into the Aces NFL Show Week 4 preview. We hope you're back a winner. We hope your fantasy team's flying, and we'll see you next week.